and welcome back to the PhatPhish Guitar Studio. I'm Dave, and in this video we're going to continue looking at extended chords. This is kind of part of a series. I've done a few other videos introducing the concept. If you haven't seen those, I'll put some links in the information section down there. You might want to check those out first so you kind of understand where we're coming from with the stuff we'll talk about in this video. Now, the last video I did introduce the idea of 11 chords. So this is where we take a chord that's been extended up to the 9th degree and go even further and include the 11th degree. So basically we're just taking alternate notes from a scale. So in an 11th chord we've got the 1, 3, 5, that's the basic triad. Add in the 7th degree, it gives us the 7th chord. Add in the 9 and then go on and add in the 11th chord, the 11th degree. So that gives us a chord. It's got 6 notes in it. So it's quite rich harmony, and we'll talk about the different types of chord you might find: major 11, minor 11, dominant 11 and whatnot. What I want to talk about in this video is a bit more like the practical application and harmonising out scales in 11 chords, kind of looking at the type of chords that you might come across.
So just quickly recapping what we've looked at in previous videos about harmony. Here we're working with the C major scale, so what we do is we take each degree of that scale and build a chord on each degree. When we build a chord, basically we're taking alternate notes from the scale. We take 3 degrees, a 1, a 3 and a 5. We end up with triads, so we end up with a pattern with C major, D minor, E minor, F major, G major, A minor and B diminished. Add in a 7th degree and we end up with C major 7, D minor 7, E minor 7, F major 7, G dominant 7, A minor 7 and B half diminished. And in the last video about extended chord harmony, we talked about 9 chords. So we extend the 7th chord to include a 9th degree. We get this arrangement. We'll have C major 9, D minor 9, E minor 7 flat 9, F major 9, G 9, A minor 9 and B half diminished flat 9. Before we're adding in more notes to the chord, it's the same process. You're looking at how the notes from the C major scale correspond to the notes on the major scale of whatever degree you're building the chord on. So looking, say, the 3rd chord there, the E minor 7 flat 9, we have to use a flat 9 because the 9th degree of E major is F sharp. But because we're harmonising the C major scale, we need some type of F note which is diatonic to C major. So F sharp doesn't fit, but F natural does. So we lower the F sharp by semitone, so that gives us a flat 9 degree. And we can use the same principles as we go on and extend chords even further to include 11th degrees. So if we add the 11th degree on the end of those 9 chords, we get something that looks like this. So we've got a C major 11 on the 1st degree, D minor 11 on the 2nd, E minor 11 flat 9 on the 3rd. 4th chord is F major sharp 11. Again, we've had to make an alteration. The 11th degree, 4th degree if you like, of F major is B flat. B flat's not diatonic to the key of C major, but we need some kind of B note there, so we've raised B flat by semitone to get B natural, so that makes that 11th degree into a sharp 11th. So that's basically a major 9 chord, but with a sharp 11th degree on the end, so it's a major sharp 11, as opposed to just the major 11 chord like we had on the 1st degree, which doesn't have the altered degree on the 11th. Going on, we have G dominant 11th on the 5th degree, the 6th chord is A minor 11, and then on the 7th degree, B half diminished 11 flat 9. From that we can kind of distill down a generic set of formula that would apply to any major scale if we harmonise it out, where we say the 1 chord is always a major 11, the 2 chord is a minor 11, 3rd chord is a minor 11 flat 9, 4th chord is a major sharp 11, 5th chord is a dominant 11, the 6th chord is a minor 11, and the 7th chord is a half diminished 11 flat 9. And those chords have those formula, so you can use those formulas to apply them to scales to derive 11 chords in any key.
Now, something people sometimes get a bit concerned about is all the new chord names that we start to see. If you think about when we looked at triads, there was only 3 types of triad. There's major, minor and diminished. When we add in the 7th degree, we've got 4 different chord types now because there's the dominant 7th comes along. When we add in the 9th degree, we've got a new type of chord because on that 3 chord we can't add in a 9, we have a flat 9, so it's not a regular minor 9 chord, it's a minor flat 9. And as you can see, when we add in the 11th degree, there's that issue again on some chords like the fourth degree will have that sharp 11. So you start to see more notes in the chord, more different note names across a key. Don't worry about it. The naming scheme is really logical if you think about it. And this is something I've noticed. You often find people who they've got an interest in music, but they might not be so good, perhaps at the creative side of it. They might struggle a little bit with some of the mechanics of playing. But if they've got a mathematical mind, I've seen people who are really hot on like maths and science. They're absolute whiz doing harmony because it is so logical. So don't get concerned too much about all these different names. If you spend a bit of time looking at it, it should all fall into place because it is a very logical thing that we're doing. So that's like a basic 11 chords. But when we looked at 9 chords, we said, well, you've got the option. You could take the triad and just add the ninth degree, so we don't have that 7th degree. We've got similar options with 11 chords, but because there's more notes available in the chord, it's like I said, an 11 chord has like six notes in it. So we've got some more options for what we kind of chop and change out.
We could just take the basic triads and just add an 11th degree, so it gives us something that looks like this. Or we could take the 7 chords and add in the 11th degree and get something that looks like this. So really what we've got there is like an 11th chord, but there's no 9th degree, so we could call them like 11 no 9 chords. Or you could also just think of it as a 7 with an added 11th.
Now just listening to me going through harmonizations like this, I appreciate it's not the most exciting thing. It's kind of dry. This really, I think, really slots into place if you just take the idea and sort of work through the exercises yourself. Pick a major scale, harmonize it out in all the types of chord that we talk about. Harmonize it in triads and 7 chords and 9 chords. Harmonize it in 11s. Harmonize it in 11 no 9s. And coming up with all the different types of chord. And by doing a bit of practical application, it should help help some of the concepts to sink in with you. Like I say, it's not the most exciting thing. Just looking at charts like we have there with scales harmonised out and chords. Do a bit of practical work and look at the notes involved and think about how you could play those on the guitar. As with 9 chords, I said that some of the chord fingerings you might find are a little bit difficult. Even more so with 11 chords, but don't forget we're not just talking about chords where you're playing them as a group of notes simultaneously. You could be playing them like as arpeggios as well. So think about how you could play them as part of your soloing. The theory we've looked at here, we've been working in the context of the major scale, but the theory is transportable, so it'll work across any type of scale, natural minor, harmonic minor, melodic minor, whatever. So if you're familiar with those type of scales, try repeating the exercise. Take A harmonic minor and harmonise that out in 11 chords. Take the A harmonic minor, take each note out of that scale, use that as a root note of a chord, take alternate notes off that root note. Those notes have to belong to the harmonic minor scale, the A harmonic minor scale that you're harmonising. So you have to make adjustments, lowering a third here, flattening a fifth there, whatever you need to do to get the notes of the chord harmonised. And you come up with some chord types that we haven't seen in the major scale because of the different formula of the harmonic minor, but you're using the same theory. Okay, like I said, this is a little bit of a dry subject, but it's worth knowing. It gives you a much richer understanding of chords and harmonies and some of the chord options you've got for composing and some of like the arpeggio options that you got when it comes to playing solos. So it is worth spending some time looking at it. Okay, hope you did find that useful. If you did, please click like, please subscribe down there. If you want to leave a comment, you're more than welcome. But if you want to ask me questions, suggest something for a future video, ask me questions about music theory, guitar playing, gear, whatever, your best bet is actually to go here, fill the form in, send your question, and I'll try and get around to answering it as soon as I can. YouTube doesn't always let me know when people leave comments on videos, so if you ask a question down there in the comment section, I might not see it. So if you send a question into that form, I will, and I'll be able to answer your question for you in a future video. Right, that's all for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.